Hello and welcome to GlobeSongs. I'm Carla Seidl. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Mexican song La Bamba, which is from the central and southern areas of Veracruz. Veracruz is the name both of the port city there on the Gulf of Mexico and also the state. The city of Veracruz is where many African slaves were brought into Mexico during the colonial era. So you can see there three clear roots of the culture: Spanish, Indigenous, and African. The most common lyrics of the song are "Para bailar la bamba. Para bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia y otra cosita y arriba, or pa ti pa mi. Y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. One interpretation of that meaning is that a husband promises he'll remain faithful. He's not just a common sailor, but he's a capitán, a captain. La Bamba was made famous by Richie Valens in 1958 and then again by Los Lobos in 1987. It's the best known example of a type of music called son jarocho. We've got son, meaning sound. It's a type of popular Mexican folk music made by the common folk, usually of the countryside, as opposed to the more formal música of the courts and cathedrals. And the word jarocho means a person or thing from Veracruz. And originally this was actually a derogatory term for someone of mixed Indigenous and African descent. Son jarocho dates back around 300 years, and the traditional context was a community celebration called a fandango, kind of like a hootenanny, a community gathering around a raised wooden platform called a tarima, where people would take turns singing, dancing, and playing into the wee hours of the night. Now, this was not like a concert with audience members, but the people were active participants. Folks would ad-lib coplas or verses, often humorous, typically about love, nature, sailors, and just daily life. On the tarima, the platform, dancers would pound out the rhythms and really have an active role in shaping the music. This was called zapateado, which comes from the Spanish word zapato, meaning shoe. And it's a form of percussion that developed out of the influence of slavery, because under slavery, slaves were not allowed instruments, but this tarima, this wooden platform, became their instrument. Other instruments often used in son jarocho included jaranas, or a smaller cousin of the guitar, the jarana, a 4-string bass, a harp, tambourine, violin, and a quijada, which is made of a donkey's jawbone, and the sound comes from the clattering teeth inside of it. Wikipedia says that the song La Bamba was traditionally mostly performed at weddings, and in that the bride and groom would try to tie a ribbon together using only their feet. The music would usually get faster and faster as the song progressed, thus the arriba in the lyrics, which points to the acceleration of the song. The origins of the song La Bamba, besides Veracruz and 300 years ago, are actually uncertain. There are about 3 theories that I found. One is that it comes from the Spanish word bambolear, which means to swing or to sway. Another theory I read is that Bamba is from the name of African slaves, the group brought from Western Central Africa to Mexico, from the tribes known as the Ambas, the Bambas, or the Mbambas. And yet another theory for the origin is that it comes from the Spanish word no longer used, bambaria, meaning fool or idiot. In that theory, La Bamba was originally a kind of a political protest song. The people were poking fun at the Spanish officials who were conscripting commoners into serving to protect Veracruz from pirates around the year 1683. In any case, we know that La Bamba is a song of blended cultural roots. In the liner notes for El Son del Pueblo's CD, Jarocho de Corazón, Timothy Harding writes, Southern Spanish elements include the harmonic structure, verse forms, the staccato heel dance style, and the stringed instruments. African influences are evident in the syncopated rhythmic patterns of the son jarocho. Evidence of African singing characteristics includes choral and individual call and response to a lead singer, slurring or bending of the notes, and a sarcastic or irreverent attitude. While Indian influence is more difficult to identify, one characteristic is the frequent choice of animals as lyrical themes. Prior to the Spanish arrival, animals symbolized deities and divine forces in indigenous religions. Son jarocho lyrics depict the iguana, the hawk, the woodpecker, etc., and give these animals human characteristics. I recently discovered a fantastic video version of La Bamba on YouTube by Las Cafeteras. Las Cafeteras is a Chicano band from East Los Angeles whose music fuses spoken word and folk music with traditional son jarocho, Afro-Mexican music, and zapateado dancing. In the video, I'll put the link in the description, you can see how La Bamba serves as a bridge between the traditional and the modern. The music gives space for the negotiation of identity and gives voice to the struggle for freedom. One verse in there is, "Yo no creo en fronteras. Yo cruzaré, yo cruzaré, yo cruzaré. I don't believe in borders. I will cross, I will cross, I will cross." It's amazing how this one song, La Bamba, has been a place for community pride, joy, and struggle for hundreds of years. There really was a lot I did not know about the song until now. Thanks for joining me on GlobeSongs today as we discover the world and its cultures, one folk song at a time.